Hi, I'm Maria and I live in the UK.
Hi, I'm Shanthi and I live in Ireland.
I have multiple sclerosis, scoliosis, anxiety, and I'm a little neurospicy.
I have celiac, small fiber peripheral neuropathy, chronic fatigue syndrome, um, something else. Depression, that's it. Anxiety, and probably also a little neurospicy.
I love that I laughed while you said depression.
I mean, why not? It's cool.
I mean, that is kind of insight into our humor.
Indeed.
We share gallows humor.
Indeed.
Here.
We
Oh,
also swear a lot.
yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Shanti and I have been friends for 16 years.
We met via immigrating to the UK and then also happened to start on our chronic illness diagnosis journeys around the same time as well.
We both suffer from brain fog, so expect
Indeed.
long rambles and tangents.
Indeed. If you're here for coherence, you probably want to look elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Look for another channel. So settle in with a cup of tea or your beverage of choice. So this week we had the council in to do the much needed renovation on our bathroom. And we were expecting an entirely new wet room. This
Should be
was,
good.
oh, yeah, and this is the Monday after my birthday. My birthday was Friday before. So I was like gearing up for it and knowing that it was going to be a rough week. But I was like, it's going to be worth it because we'll get rid of the mold wall. Because our entire bathroom wall was completely rotted through. It was damp, it was moldy into
Nice.
like the bathroom, into the cupboard. Just,
Yeah,
it's been a problem for 3 years.
nice.
Uh, so yeah, I was like, it'll be worth it in the end, and everything will be shiny and new. And then Monday morning, the guy came and said, I'm here to tile the shower. Like, this is like
That's one of the steps, to be fair.
I feel like I need a sign that says you need to remove the wall first. Because I think I talked about that in the last video, didn't I? Um, because
Maybe.
this keeps coming up. It's like they know they're supposed to take down the wall, and they're like, yep, we'll send an inspector around. Inspector says, yeah, the wall needs to be replaced. And so then we hear nothing, and then someone will show up and be like, yeah, I'm here to replace a skirting board. Like, okay, you need to take out the
The
wall
whole wall.
first.
Yeah.
You can come have a look. Came and looked and said, oh, yeah, that needs to be replaced before we can do that. I was like, yeah. They're like, well, they put the order in wrong, so we're going to have to get an inspector in. Like, uh-huh.
Yes.
We did
Again.
that. But it's happened multiple times. They come to like replace various parts of it, and it's like, but the wall.
The
The
key bit.
wall. So yeah, the guy showed up on Monday morning. Alex had taken the entire week off of work for this because he's quite handy and he wanted to make sure he was keeping on top of them for what they were doing. Um,
Yes.
so they came and said, yeah, I'm here to retile the shower. I'm like, yeah, the wall. Um, so he called the company and they said that they were only supposed to remove the wall, tile the shower. So they did know this
That
is
they
like
had to remove the
an
wall.
outside
Yeah.
company that they like yeah um contract out to. So yeah, they
Yeah.
knew that they were supposed to replace the wall. That guy just didn't come yet. So
Cool.
uh I can't remember how it went down, but we wound up on the phone to the council saying like, you told us
Sort this
that
out.
we were going to get a whole new wet room. And they said, oh no, you need to go through the occupational therapist. I'm like, I did that. And she said she was calling you. And right after she said she was calling you, you called us to say what you
To
were
start doing stuff.
But apparently it's a different occupational therapist that I need to get in touch with. And then it will be 6 months after that.
Cool.
So they were just there to get rid of the mold wall, which
Is important.
yeah, fine. But it was just like, you're gonna have to take it all out again.
Yeah. Like it's very temporary, hopefully.
Yeah. Uh, so, but yeah, they said that's what they were gonna do. It's under a different budget.
Nice.
So they're doing the
Cool.
work to replace the work. And they said it would take 3 days.
Because presumably there's a this flat is full of mold budget for
Yeah.
anybody. And then there is a this is a disabled person's flat
Yes.
budget. And never the twain shall meet.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you need to get yourself into the other bucket.
Yeah. So that's fine. Like, I understand that. Whatever. But they said it was going to be 3 days initially, which is what they told us about the wet room when the inspector came. So we assumed.
Feels ambitious. Like I've done multiple
mean, yeah.
bathroom renovations, and 3 days feels optimistic.
Especially the way the council work.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was paying private people.
Yeah.
This was not council people. So
Yeah. They were in no rush. So that they told us 3 days for a full wet room, and then the company told us 3 days, but they didn't say what
Just
they
for
were
the wall.
doing. But that was
Yeah.
just for the mold wall.
nice.
So whatever. But they worked so slowly that it was 5 days, and they didn't finish. Alex did. They did such a bad job every day
Yeah.
that Alex was just waiting for them to leave so that he could go fix whatever they did.
Nice.
So it was
Nice.
basically just waiting around, and that was like payment for supplies.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Nice.
so yeah, they did remove the wall. Oh yeah, the plumber. Alex was like, I'm pretty sure there is a leak, because we thought we've had multiple floods.
Yeah.
So we had the boiler upstairs burst, covering me through
Nice.
the ceiling.
The ceiling. Nice.
In just waterfall while I was home alone.
Nice. Excellent.
And I ran, like, I couldn't find my phone, like, ran. I went upstairs and told, like, knocked on the neighbor's door, and
Yeah.
he, like, came confused looking, and I said, can you, like, did you leave water running or something? Because there's
Yeah.
water just
What's going
pouring
on?
into my flat. And he was like, no, I don't think so.
Nice.
He's like, you should call the council. Like, yeah. He's like, do you have the number?
Get right
Yeah,
on
I'm
that.
good. Thanks. I'm like, I gotta get back. So
Nice.
it's still just pouring in. And so I, like, can't find my phone while I'm trying to, like, juggle buckets. Finally find it, called the council, called Alex. Yeah, Alex got there before the council did. And he went
Obviously.
upstairs, and dude upstairs realized that the boiler had burst in the time between. So
Yes.
Alex said it looked like it was from the 70s.
Nice. Good.
So yeah, that flood happened, and then on Christmas Day, I woke up to water pouring into my bathroom.
Nice.
Now that was, we found out later that day because he was in the hospital having his leg amputated. So like, I felt bad, like being mad about it.
Yeah.
Because it was like,
but
wow,
still-
okay, he's having a worse Christmas than me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, that was his toilet tank leaking.
Nice.
But that was also pouring in, and we had to get the one plumber that worked for the council on Christmas Day. We had to wait for
Nice.
him to come. So these things had happened, and so we
Yeah.
weren't sure if it was just the boiler slow leaking
Yeah.
into
Or
the
what?
wall, because it was that spot. It was the
Yeah.
same spot. But the wall was getting wetter recently,
Nice.
so that doesn't track.
Clearly, it was getting worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So Alex was like, I think that it's coming from the shower drain, like the pump, the pipe.
Yeah.
And the plumber was like, no, it's not. He was like,
Cool.
okay, but I'm pretty sure that it is. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
And he kept like testing different things, and they couldn't find the leak. And they were like, oh, I guess there's no leak.
Nice.
And they were just gonna patch it up. They weren't even gonna remove the part of the wall
Nice.
where the pipe was for the shower
Excellent.
pump.
Because you can just divine these things, like through the tile and the wall. You can tell if you're a plumber.
Yeah, sure. Alex had like taken a photo with his phone like into the wall,
Yeah.
and he could tell that the pipe was like, what did you say, oxidized? Was that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal copper oxidization.
So, yeah, it was a copper pipe. It was green.
Nice.
So
Not
he
a
was
good sign.
like, I think it's coming from there. And the plumber's like, nah. So after they left, when they had removed the rest of the wall, Alex just started hammering into that one. Like, well, we're gonna
Nice.
figure this out. And guess
Yeah.
what it was? It was the shower drain pump.
Yay!
So the small copper pipe was supposed to be attached to a PVC pipe, but they weren't. They were just touching.
Chilling. Nice.
So none
Good.
of the threads, like all of the threads, were visible.
That's cool.
So
That's
it's just
definitely
been
how pipes
leaking.
connect.
Yeah, right? So it's just leaking a quarter of the water into the wall
void.
for all of
Nice.
this time.
Cool.
For years it looked like. And it was like, I have photos. It was bad. When they started
Yeah.
taking out the wall, it was just, it looked like someone tracked mud everywhere.
Nice.
It was so gross. I'm relieved that that is gone. But they just left it like that and were like, didn't even say bye, just gone. And they
Cool.
also left an open bucket of mixed cement.
Cool.
So Alex was like, well, I guess
That's
I'll
gonna go
cement
up, so,
this part
yeah.
of the wall too.
Nice.
Yeah. And they had just been like replastering this one spot in the hallway over and over again. And like we had a big
Cool.
problem with beetles when we first moved in. It was like an infestation.
Nice.
And the carpenter was like, I can see why. Because there's like no foundation and you can see like the tunnel marks where they had been chewing through.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex wound up fixing that. And then the next
Nice.
day, he told them, yeah, I figured out what it was. It was the shower drain pump. And they were like, okay.
Nice. I wish I could say that sounded surprising, but having worked with several builders, private or public, like yeah, that's just how they roll.
All right.
You're like, okay, cool, thanks.
But it took them 5 days to let Alex do the work for them. But
Nice.
Alex's week off was spent waiting
Doing all
and
that.
watching them like a hawk the whole day and then doing the
Yeah.
work himself in the evening. So
Nice.
he's like, it would have been less frustrating to just do it
Just to
myself.
do it. Yeah,
And I would have done it in half the time.
less time, better quality. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Fun times.
that was my week.
Yes, that's been a week.
uh, they didn't do any of the other repairs that we're supposed to do. Well, they
Nice.
did the toilet tank because that was like rusting and falling off the wall, the brackets. So they replaced
Nice.
those. But they were also supposed to replace our extractor fan
Yeah,
and put a vent on the window. They did
Helpful.
neither of those things.
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be back on Monday.
Don't say that. Please no. I can't deal with them by myself.
Yeah. Oh,
Especially when I've just been talking shit about them in the other room for like several days.
yeah.
I didn't have to like be face to face with them at all.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my week.
Nice. So yeah, my week. So the good thing is I finally found a community choir to join locally, which is very cool. There were a few choirs around, but they were like very professional and fancy and like required auditions and, like, yeah, more than I wanted to deal with. And so I finally found this choir, I forget, I think through Facebook or something, and it's just 40 or 50 people, half of whom probably can't sing very well, but like it's fine. We sing songs from the 60s, like, and we just kind of have a good time. So yeah, that's been cool. And this week we have finally branched out into like learning how to harmonize, which is mind blowing to like 95% of the people. But it's cool. It's nice to actually get that going. So I'm singing alto for the first time, I think, ever in a choir, which is cool. I don't mind. I feel like my range has dropped anyway since the last time I was in a choir, which was in college. So, cool. And altos generally get to harmonize, so that's good.
Yeah. I used to choose to sing alto in like high school choir.
I mean, to be fair, I was always mezzo-soprano, so I was generally always harmonizing anyway. I was just harmonizing at a slightly higher register. But we definitely can't do 5 parts. So. Or I guess 6 if we had tenors. We have like 5 men and they all sing the same notes. So we don't have tenor or bass, which is fine. But yeah, so that's been fun. But definitely been taking up spoons more than usual. So yeah, that's been the good part of the week. And then the less good part about the week has been my mother-in-law, who has been in ill health for coming up on a year now-ish. She was in the hospital for like all of December and then through the spring, basically. And then she finally came home, but she's had cares, which is fine, mostly. But she's also been having extra health crises the last 4 months, I want to say, and no one's really been sorting it out. So because she has very limited mobility, basically the only thing we can do with her when she has an issue is send her into A&E via an ambulance. So we keep doing that. They keep turning around and sending her back home. But this time, they finally have actually decided to keep her. So she's been in hospital for the last week. They haven't, as far as I know, they haven't actually really done anything for her.
That sounds like, yeah.
But they plan to, which is better than previous, when they would just literally be like, cool, we're sending you home, take Tylenol, bye.
Yeah,
I
was going to say, they send her home with Tylenol, right?
Yeah. Like, a month ago, I think, she went into A&E on a Saturday. They kept her, like, they took overnight for them to pay attention to her. They sent her home on the Sunday with Tylenol. So we did Tylenol for Sunday. And then Monday morning, we sent her back in because she was still in pain. Monday afternoon, they sent her home again with Tylenol. And we were like, the fact that we brought her back in on the Monday means that the Sunday plan didn't work. Mm-hmm. So maybe don't repeat that plan.
There's an idea.
It's a novel idea. But yeah, so she's been in hospital for a week, which on one level is easier for us because she's not here, so we're not having to help care for her. But on the other level, it's harder because we have to coordinate with everybody, try and figure out what's going on, visit her, obviously. Like it's more hassle than when she's 20 feet in that direction. So yeah, but hopefully it will turn out to be a good thing because it sounds like they're actually planning on maybe sorting out the underlying problem, which would be real nice because, yeah, this has been going on since May, I think. And yeah, that's too long for it to be going on. I'm pretty sure she first had symptoms in either the start of May or end of April.
Okay, because I remember something about like December Like, I feel like you're...
December was when she went into hospital the first time, and she stayed in hospital
Oh, okay.
for several months. But yeah, May was when this current thing has kicked off. So
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah, her health has markedly deteriorated since December, but it
Yeah.
was stable until May, basically,
Okay.
and now it's not great again. So yeah, on the one hand, I can sympathize. Like, obviously, she has not really experienced life of a Spoonie, whereas I have, so I can be like, yeah, you need to, whatever, try and ration your energy and try and conserve your energy for the most helpful things like eating your meals or whatever,
Yeah.
like I can kind of help her in that sense, but in other ways I can't help because she is actually dealing with an acute health problem, which just needs to be freaking sorted out, and no one wants to do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I've now lived in the US, the UK, and Ireland, and I've had healthcare in all three. And of the three, I would pick Ireland. Like, I feel like it has the best combination of cost versus accessibility and whatnot. But you end up with situations like this, which have been going on for literal months, and you're just like, please, someone sort this out.
See,
And
I've had new, like, living in London, I
mm,
would have said, yeah, it could be, like, really improved, and
yeah,
Ireland sounds better. But now that
yeah,
I live in the northwest of England,
mm,
like, it's way better.
yeah.
So, it's a
Again, I
postcode
feel like it's
lottery
it's
thing.
a lot. Yeah, it's a postcode lottery, and also it's a rationing of what's available.
Yeah.
Like London, loads of people, and like I mean, they have like 5 hospitals or something, but still they have millions of people.
Yeah.
Whereas Northwest probably has 2 hospitals, but they have 10% of the people.
Yeah.
And then same with Ireland, we probably have way fewer hospitals, but the whole country has 5 million people. So,
Yeah.
but also, on my own journey, I'm on a wait list to see an immunologist, and it's at least 2 years long because there are 6 in the entire country for 5 million people.
Cool.
So, you're just kind of like, maybe you should look into hiring some more. Just an idea. Like, I feel like once your wait list hits a certain amount and it's not going to get any better because obviously you have a constant supply of people needing immunologists, maybe you address that by like adding more immunologists rather than just being like, hope you don't need anything crucial in the next 2 years. Bye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'll pick socialized medicine over the US experience
Oh,
any
for
day
sure.
because like my mother-in-law has cares in multiple times a day and she pays nothing for it. They've given her all sorts of equipment. She has a full hospital bed. Like she's not paid a cent for it. So like I will definitely take that over. Like I mean, I was in the US in my 20s, so I wasn't overly nervous about things, but I feel like you kind of always had the sense of like my financial life might hit the toilet
Yeah.
if something happens, like if I get hit by a
Yeah.
car or whatever, like
I was having tests in
yeah,
America before I moved here because I'd
yeah,
already had I had that like period when I was 10 years old of kind of I remember it being in class and I couldn't hold my pencil.
oh yeah,
I'm pulling out my pen to kind of demonstrate, but like I was just
yeah,
doing that. Like
yeah,
I couldn't grip it. And that like really freaked me out, but I
yeah,
never told anybody. So, but then in high school, I had a bout of fatigue that was really bad, and they were like, "Yeah, you're dehydrated."
yeah,
That's what I got.
yeah. I
And
got
then I
you're
had,
anemic, and it was like, cool,
yeah,
maybe I am, but also other stuff.
yeah, uh, maybe. So then I was getting migraines, and then right before I moved over, I had my first relapse.
Mm.
And that was my eye just would go blurry if I looked to the side. And I was like, oh, I have a
Oh,
brain tumor,
nice.
don't I? I definitely have a
Yeah,
brain tumor. The feet
nice.
went numb, and there were a few other things. So I had two tests. They did a blood test, and then they did that is it EMG, the one where they stab you with a needle and then electrocute it. It's like the nerve
Yeah, the nerve
conduction.
conduction study. Yep, I've had
Ugh.
that a few times.
Oh, it
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
had that a few times.
So, but just from those tests, it was like, yeah, it's like $1,000.
Yeah,
So, broke
yeah,
now. I guess
yeah.
this is just how I live. This is just
Exactly.
life.
Yeah. So I would definitely pick Ireland or the UK any day, but also you're just kind of like, cool, can anyone take some ownership over this situation?
Yeah.
Because like the local hospital can't do the stuff she needs, so she has to go to Dublin, which is fine, but then Dublin's like, yeah, we don't feel like doing it. And then we're like, what's the plan then? And there's no one being like, this needs to get done. Dublin, you are doing it. Or local place will figure out how to get you to do it. Whatever. Like, there's
Hmm.
no one actually driving it. So, yeah.
Now we've been talking lately about how all of the systems seem to be like that. It was also my first day at a new job. I only worked 2.5 hours in the school, but it was a new school, and that was on Thursday. So that was 4 days into not having a shower,
Nice.
and that
Just
was
what you
rough.
want.
Yeah, and just having to constantly be not just like aware of uh, them, but
Yeah.
having them in my environment, in my, like,
Yeah.
it affects my energy just sitting
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
because I don't
Yeah,
feel
definitely.
free to do my normal things.
Yeah. You
Um,
can't just like go make a snack in the kitchen or go pee or just like change into PJs or whatever.
yeah,
Like just
everything
because you're like
feels,
people are around
yeah,
who might at any point in time need me for something.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they wouldn't need
yeah.
me; they would need Alex. But like,
But
just
yeah, but they
having
might have a
them, yeah,
question or
yeah,
might wander through on their way out for a smoke
exactly,
break or whatever, whatever. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there
definitely.
was that, um, and also just oh, my brain fog.
Mm,
Obstacles. All
yeah,
of the obstacles because we had to move stuff out of there. And
yes,
so we had that around, and then we had to keep the cat in the living room because otherwise she could
yeah,
get out because they're opening the front door. Um,
yeah. I remember
so
with ours, we
I think,
kept being like, the
yeah,
cats are in the utility. Don't come in through that door, otherwise they will escape. And they kept doing it anyway. And you were just like, there's one rule. There's
yeah,
4 ways to get into this house. We're preventing you from using one of them. Like, come on.
yeah.
You
The
know?
only words I spoke to the plumber,
Yeah,
he had to come through the living room just one time to go
yeah,
check, like turn the water off or something. Um,
yeah.
and as he opened the door, he went to say like hello and introduce himself, and I was just like, "Can you close the door of
Shut
the
the
cat?"
door. Yeah.
And he closed it and just kind of looked at me like, "You're not friendly," which is hilarious because I'm super friendly, but my
But I
cat
feel like it's
is way
not,
more important.
yeah. Yeah. Like, close the door. And then if you want to do the meet and greet, like, how's the weather and whatnot,
Yeah,
cool. But close the door first.
yeah, yeah,
Like, unless you're prepared to wrestle a cat on her way out the door. Like,
yeah.
fine. But yeah.
Well,
I
she's so
have
anxious
this same
too.
thing with everyone. I'll be like,
Yeah,
hang on, I gotta deal with the dog. And then I'll get back to you.
yeah,
And like give me literally 5 seconds. And yeah, I don't know whether it's a British thing or an Irish thing or whatever, but like people do seem kind of weirded out when you're like, I just need 5 seconds to deal with my animal real quick.
yeah.
And then I'm
Because I
happy
feel
to go
like,
through the routine of we say hi, we
yeah,
talk about the weather, we do
I feel
whatever,
like that is
like
very reasonable.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Whereas
my
like
cat is my life,
yeah.
and I don't really know you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Luckily here, I feel like most people tend to have animals, so they get it on some level. They'll be like, "Oh yes, I also have a dog or whatever." But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. it does feel like you're kind of violating the social contract by being like, hang on, let's do this one thing first. You know, it's like, it's real small. Let's just take care of it, you know?
You know what? Don't care. I don't care about social contracts anymore. I
Well,
ripped it up.
yes, indeed. Indeed. So yeah, extra spoons of builders plus new
Extra
job
spoons.
plus
Yeah. Plus no
extra mess.
showers. And
Yeah.
I have an infection, so I had to be extra careful. So I was still like having to wash twice a day, but without the aid of
Without
a
a
shower.
shower. Useful.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that alone was exhausting.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like I
So yeah,
shower 3 times a week on a good week because if I showered every day, that would use up too many spoons to
see,
shower every day.
now I'm different because I have to shower every day. If I don't, then my nerves feel like my skin's crawling.
Nice.
So, but having a shower like resets. So
Yeah.
I have to do that early in the day,
Yeah.
or I'm going to
To
feel
set
like
yourself
crap
up.
until later, until I finally
Nice.
get around to it. And that doesn't mean that I always manage, but
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
if I feel
That's part
gross,
of your
yeah,
routine.
that's probably what I need.
Yeah. 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 I generally feel better after a shower. It's just
Yeah,
I have to ration the spoons.
yeah.
Anything else, Spoonie, from your week?
Hmm. Oh, a positive. Let's do a
Yay.
positive Spoonie thing. My
Yeah.
new school was really cool about accessibility.
Yay! That's
Yay.
awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
is very cool,
uh,
especially for a physical environment. Like, I feel like
yes.
that's very rare.
And it's very, very close to home. So it's like the closest school to me.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, I went in and said, like, I'm the new music teacher. I have a disability. I will be bringing my mobility scooter to school since it's so
Yeah.
close. Is there somewhere I can park it? And
Yeah.
she was like, I'm sure we can do something. And so she went to get the head teacher and they had me sit and wait. And then the head teacher came in, introduced herself to me, and she said, Can you follow me? And we walked right outside the door that I came in. And across from it was this little gate. And just a perfect amount of space for my scooter to fit easily.
Nice.
And she was like, Is this okay? It's like, This is perfect. Like, don't have to
Wow,
go
that's
out of the way or
awesome.
anything. And then she was like, How are you with stairs? And
I
I
feel like
was
no one
like,
asks that.
No.
Like,
And
if you
that's,
point it out, you're like, hey, I can't do stairs. They'll be like,
yeah,
oh, okay, cool. But no one thinks to be like, oh, should we offer you something
yeah,
or should we inquire? We'll just assume that if you don't say otherwise, you can go anywhere. And you're
yeah.
like, no.
So, yeah. I was like, Well,
Cool.
it
That's
depends
awesome.
how many stairs.
Yeah.
And she said it's one flight, and I was like, "Well, is it like up and down?" And she was like, "No, once you're there, it's
You're
all
good.
the classes are in one little area." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And she said, "Will that be okay?" And I was like, "I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I'll see
Maybe.
how it goes." And she
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, well, just let us know because if not, we'll just put you downstairs and we'll have the classes come to you."
Nice.
Right?
Cool. Yeah.
So, yeah, positive Spoonie thing this week.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
not
like it's
always so
very
easy.
rare for places to like not only be willing to accommodate, but also like kind of think themselves they can accommodate. So it's not always on you to be like, okay, I need to be on the ground floor. I also need a bathroom on the ground floor. I also need whatever. I need a place to put my scooter. I
Yeah.
need guardrails here if I'm, whatever, potentially going to trip over something, whatever,
Yeah.
where it's like, where you have to sit here and be like, okay, what exactly is my day going to be like and what do I actually need?
Yeah.
It's very rare for people to actually be like, oh, we could solve this for you,
Yes.
rather than you being like, okay, yeah, at 5 minutes after I get in the door, I need this, and at 20 minutes after I'll need this, and after the class is over, I'll need this, like where you
Hmm.
have to actually outline.
Yeah.
So that's very cool that they were like proactively suggesting things, even if you
Yeah.
potentially don't need them.
It is very rare.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel
Uh,
like most places I've worked, when I ask, they're like, oh yeah, we can probably do that. Whether that's because they think they probably can, or they're like, legally, we have to like accommodate you. You know, who knows? But they tend to respond generally positive. Like I've never said something and had them been like, no, you're fired or whatever,
No.
you know. But usually you get the vibe of like, oh, well, this is going to be a hassle, or this will be weird and different, or like, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
And
I didn't get
yeah.
that vibe at all.
Yeah, like, because, like, I feel like bringing the kids to you would be a hassle, right? Presumably,
Oh, yeah.
someone would have to gather them up and be like, we're all walking down the stairs now
Hmm.
to the music teacher's class, you know, whatever. Like,
that is,
you can't
like-
just be like, off you go, kids. Hope you find your way there, you know? So, like,
Yeah.
it's still a thing they would have to coordinate. And the
And
fact that they were
that's
like, will you
where
do it?
Behavior problems can really, like,
Yeah,
any
exactly.
transitions, like, generally,
Yeah.
even for, you know,
Class A to Class B or whatever.
neurotypical children, just
Yeah.
that transition is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You have to get into a different like headspace,
Yeah.
let alone physical space.
So yeah,
Yeah,
the fact
that's
that
cool
they
that
offered
they
that
were-
just up front, I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
that's
I
awesome.
like it here already. And then my
Yeah.
classes wound up being really nice and helpful too, so
Oh, yay.
hey.
Are you, maybe this is TMI, but like, are you upfront with your kids about like your disabilities and your limitations or no?
When I did secondary school teaching, I would just say it
Yeah.
because teenagers are pretty self-obsessed anyway, so
Yeah.
they don't really care.
FYI, you need to know this.
Yeah. But also things would come up, like I would have one of my twitches or something.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
MS. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But I would just like brush it off.
Yeah.
With the little ones, I've never really been open about it, but I'm not hiding it.
No.
You know, it's just like
Yeah.
I always say that my disability is the least interesting thing about me.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Definitely.
lead with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But like, you obviously work a physical job physically in front of people, whereas I work fully remote. So like,
Yeah.
I could, if I wanted to, hide most of my stuff. Like, people don't necessarily need to know that, I don't know, I slept until 5 minutes before my first meeting because I
Right.
needed the extra half an hour of sleep. Like, they just know that I show up to my meeting and like, fine, you know. But also, I feel like my current job is the first one where I have just been like, I give zero fucks. I will be completely upfront with all of you. Like, I created a page about myself on our little internal wiki that like lists like, hey, I have chronic fatigue. It might mean this. It might mean that. Like, and if you know, if I'm having a particularly bad day, like at our morning stand up, I will be like, I'm having brain fog today, so like, bear with me, you know. Whereas I wouldn't try and hide it at previous jobs, but I feel like I was much less just like, no, I have brain fog. That's a thing today, you know.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's going on.
I mean, I'm kind of same now. I feel like,
Yeah.
because I told the adults and
Yeah.
the teachers, they knew.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's just kind of like little minds don't need to
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
consider those things.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to explain what the myelin
Yeah, I
sheath
feel like brain
is.
fog is hard enough for people to get, like, until they've had a bad flu. Then you can be like,
Yeah.
it was like that. Whereas, yeah, if you're trying to explain it to like 8-year-olds, like,
Yeah.
they've never had brain fog. If they're lucky, you know.
I was always kind of told to not talk about it at work, which was
Really?
it
Interesting.
kind of I've written
What,
about
like
this a
by your
lot.
peers or by your supervisors?
By my ex's family
Oh, well, yeah.
when
okay,
I was
fair
first diagnosed.
enough. Yes.
So that is always ringing in my head. So it's only
Yeah.
recently that I'm like, I give no fucks.
Reprogramming.
So
Yeah.
So last week
Yeah.
at the like music service meeting,
Yeah,
I
you're just
told
like,
an
"This is a
entire
thing."
room full of music educators, I have a disability.
Yeah.
Spontaneously, not planned.
Nice.
Because I was suggesting we should
That's great.
a group for people who have disabilities, a music group.
Yeah.
And they were really positive about it. And
Nice.
I sent a formal
very
proposal
cool.
to the head of the music service, and I have heard nothing.
I mean, it's the start of school.
I know. But I'm just like,
You never
oh,
know, but
was
yeah.
that just lip service, though? You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's a little bit, what's the word, pessimistic. But
Yeah.
at the same
Or
time,
realistic. You never know.
yeah.
Hello, you. You back again. I'm not gonna rub your belly. I know that trick. She's like, you will rub my belly, and then I will ninja you. My spoons this week. Well, I only work 3 days a week because right now that's all I have the spoons for, and to be honest, I don't really even have the spoons for that. But I took my third day off, so I only worked 2 days this week, and then I've had 5 days in a row off. And actually, I've been really insanely productive those 5 days, even though spoon-wise, I felt kind of like garbage. So that's been cool. Like, I don't know, it's a weird dichotomy of like, physically, I feel gross, and like, I've had some level of brain fog every single day, but also, like, emotionally and mental stimulation wise, I've had a lot of energy. So that's been interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
And there's
kind of
always
balancing.
like that feeling of at least I did something to
Yes.
feel like this. And it's not
Yes.
just I feel like garbage and so I did nothing.
Yeah, which was me last week. So
I
last
mean-
week I took an extra day off work as an unpaid sick day because I woke up and was like, I cannot do work today. And there was no reason for it. Like, I'd slept as well as I ever sleep. I'd eaten fine.
Yeah.
My body was just kind of like, nope, today is a not happening day. So, yeah. But I feel like overall, spoon-wise, I would say it's been a pretty good week, even though I felt kind of low-level garbage all week.
All right.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, what else is new, really?
Yeah. We always feel low level garbage.
Yeah, I felt slightly more than low-level garbage this week.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
At least
It is
you
what it
feel
is. Like,
productive.
yeah, and also like so I over the spring I think I was trying to do graded exercise because like that's one of the things that you're meant to do is just very slowly build up. So I literally started at 1 minute and then every week I would add a minute and I got up to 5 minutes and then had a crash out of nowhere that lasted I don't know 3 months maybe. So I did absolutely nothing. But then this last week I've gone out twice and I've walked an extra 500 steps both times. I would say uphill both ways, but technically it was uphill one way and downhill the other way. But, because that's how hills work. But, like, I pushed myself a little bit extra physically this week as well,
Yeah.
which is nice, even though I have felt that kind of, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 out of 10 garbage
Right.
this week. So that's been cool.
Yeah.
Like, at least I know that I can push myself a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 500 steps is almost nothing, but it's 500 more than I was doing. So I will take the win.
Progress is progress.
Progress is progress. Yes. I took the dog on one of those and she peed twice. So as long as it was enough distance for her to pee twice, so like that counts.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to measure your progress, just in how many times Peanut pees.
I mean, it's a metric.
It's like Americans measuring in anything but the metric system.
Yeah, exactly. I'll measure
I
it.
walked
How many
like-
rests I have to take because my dog is doing something.
I walked like 20 washing machines distance.
Nice. Yes, exactly. Oh.
Yeah, regarding the fatigue thing though. So I've been weaning off of my fatigue meds.
Yeah.
I cut it by 2/3
Wow.
slowly.
It's
So yeah. So now I'm on 1/3 of what I was. But
Yeah.
it's because it was making me sick. So
Yeah.
it was actually making me fatigued.
Nice.
Very counterproductive. So
Yes.
I was anticipating like it's gonna be hard at first, but
Yeah.
then hopefully it'll
Then
get
it'll
better.
get easier. Yeah.
And my mom was asking me about it, and she was like, "Is it helping?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I think that I've been less fatigued." And I said to Alex, "Like, what do you think? Do you think it's helping?" And he was like, "Well, you're still fatigued, but like you're doing things." And then
Yeah.
you're fatigued after, and it's like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
It's better.
definitely. Like, if I'm gonna feel 2 out of 10 fatigue, if I literally just lie in bed all day and don't move, I would much rather feel a three or four, and know that like I walked an extra 500 steps, or
Yeah.
did some, like
Yeah,
I would rather take that penalty and
for
know
sure.
that I actually did something, whether it's something mentally or something physically or
Yeah.
both or whatever. Whereas, yeah, I feel like for me, the worst days I feel like are when, I mean, 2 out of 10 is fine, whatever, who cares? But when it's like 7 out of 10 and I literally don't move, and I'm just like, why?
Mhm.
Which was most of my summer, really, was
Yeah.
just like, why are we doing this, body?
Yeah. I definitely go through periods of it being worse.
Yeah,
But at the moment, fingers crossed, I seem to be able to at least be able to work on some music or some
that's cool.
sewing.
Yeah,
That is an improvement because for a couple
yeah,
of years
definitely.
there, and it's when they increased my fatigue med,
Yeah,
I wasn't doing so great.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've been on this drug for 15 years,
Jeez.
and when I was 23, I didn't really question it. I was just like,
Yeah,
okay, you
this is
say
a
this
thing you
will help.
take.
I'll take this
Yeah,
thing. And then, like, I learned as I went through my Spoonie journey to
yeah.
read
Question
things
things.
and, yeah,
Yeah,
question what side effects are. But I
yeah.
never thought to go back to my original medication. This is the first medication they ever gave me. And
Nice.
because it was just like, yeah, this definitely helped my fatigue when I started taking it. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing it's still helping.
yeah.
But yeah, my fatigue med was making me fatigued. How about that?
Classic. That's the best. Yeah, I was chatting with my stepdad the other day and telling him, because we haven't chatted in a while, and I was telling him about my summer crash, and he was like, "Oh, it's a shame you didn't get bloods done while you were crashing, because maybe one of them would have shown something." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, but also my crashes usually last like a week or two, and so I sort of spent 3 months thinking maybe it will get better in a week,
Yeah.
and at no point was I like, oh man, I should definitely go get bloods on the off chance that one of them shows something weird right now."
Yeah.
You know?
I feel
Like, I get
like,
it. He's a doctor.
yeah.
Like, that's kind of what
Yeah.
they're going to say. But still, it was
But you
kind
are
of
a
like,
spoonie, so it's like I'm going
yeah,
to avoid going to the doctor unless I'm dying. Because
exactly.
otherwise they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, well, yeah, you're sick.
Well, and here to get my bloods done, I can either make a special appointment with the GP and be like, "Hey, can you order bloods for me?" Or if I'm very lucky, I could just ring up, be like, "I want a blood panel done." But that still means I have to ring up and say, "I want a blood panel done." It usually has to go through the GP, even if I don't actually see him. So I would have to wait for that to happen. Then I would have to ring up and be like, "Cool, get me an appointment to do the bloods." And then I would have to physically go get the bloods
Yeah.
and then come home. And then a week later, I have to phone back up again and be like, "What happened with the bloods? Like, did they come back?" So like
Hmm.
that's
That's a
what,
ton of
at
spoonie
least
admin.
4 steps
Yeah.
just to get my bloods done.
When you can't even like think straight.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I'm
you're
already at like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
yeah.
So I'm
So
like, I don't have the bandwidth to do those 4 steps.
no.
So like,
It's I
you
one
know,
step tasks only, maybe.
exactly. Yeah,
My brain
like,
cannot think that many steps ahead right now because I
exactly.
am
Yeah,
rationing. rationing the two
So,
spoons that I have.
yeah, yeah, which need to like feed me breakfast and dinner. You know? And if I'm
Yep.
lucky, some sort of snack in between. So yeah, it was nice of my stepdad to think, and maybe if I'm in a crash next time, it will occur to me to try and do those steps. But also,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you've never been a Spoonie.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have that experience.
You don't
That's
understand the
I've
rationing of,
started like thinking about it when I'm doing fun things.
yeah,
When I'm putting my spoons toward fun things, I'm flinging them like confetti.
yeah,
These are the confetti spoons.
nice.
Still using them, but at least it's fun.
Yes, indeed. It's much nicer to use them for fun things as
Yeah.
opposed to for stupid nonsense things.
You know, we're both lucky that we have partners who kind of clear
Yes.
the way for us to do the fun
Oh my
flinging of
God. Gareth
confetti
takes
spoons.
so many spoons off my plate. It's insane.
Same for Alex, yeah.
It is I would not be able to even have a job if I had to actually like make food.
Hmm.
You know?
I don't think I have ever taken my garbage out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I get a text on my phone and I say, "Hey Gareth, the bin people have reminded us that the bins need to go out." And he takes the bins
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Uh, yeah, no, he just is always thinking ahead for what I need. So it's
Yes.
not even like I
Yeah.
have to be like, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
It's just he will kind of, what's
Just
the word?
appear with it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, brain can't find specific words today. So that's
Fair
that.
enough. But yeah, Gareth does the same.
Yeah. Madam was very sad all week.
Yeah,
It was
because
a
of the
sad
builders.
week for Madam. She did not care for being locked in the living room.
Yeah.
Even though she's scared of everything they're doing and does not like other people,
Yeah.
she will hide when
Still
anyone comes
needs the
over.
freedom
Yes.
to go
The fact
someplace
that the
if she
door was
chose to.
closed is
Yes, is an
bullshit.
outrage.
The first couple days, like I always get up and I feed her breakfast first thing.
Mm.
So she's like, "Let's go." Monday
Yeah.
morning. And then they
Yeah.
came and we closed her in and she just like stayed underneath my chair the whole day.
Aw.
And then when both of us were in the room, she would come out. Just the way she did it was like, I'm so sad. Please pet me.
My
Pet
day
me.
has been so hard.
Yeah. So yeah, second day she followed me out and pretty much same thing. Third
Yeah.
day, where's the cat? Where did she go? She's not in the living room. And then I looked under the bed and I see her staring at me like, I'm not going.
This is my place.
Yeah. I'm not going to. You're just going to lock me in there again. I'm not going.
Nice.
So I was like,
Nice.
come on, ma'am. We got to get you breakfast and stuff. She's like,
Yeah. I don't like it.
I like breakfast, but I do not care
Not
for being
this.
stuck in there all day. So I went and got the treats, and I shook the bag, and she was like, okay, treats. Well, so she started coming out, and I gave her
that to
one,
offer.
and then I'm shaking them on my way to the living room, and she's following. And
Yeah.
as I step through the doorway, she's behind
Like,
me in the hallway,
nope.
and she just sits down and looks at me like, I'm not doing
No, I'm done. You can
But I-
offer whatever you want.
We-
I'm not
we
going in
did-
there.
We did manage to coax her in, but the next day the same trick did not work.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thursday and Friday it was on Alex to go and get her, and Friday he actually had to shake the bed to get her to come out because she's just like
Aw.
the defiance in her
baby.
eyes, just like
Yeah.
no, bitch,
Yeah.
I know what you're about.
The door to our utility room is where the cat food is and where the litter is, so it's a real good place to lock them in if we need to because they have all their physical needs met.
Right.
And the door into there has a glass like middle, like this door here. And so you can walk by and see them as they're stuck in the utility.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we had builders in doing my mother-in-law's flat, we had to lock them in for like weeks at a time. And both of them would just be sitting there, like staring out the door window, just being like, "You have betrayed us. Why are we in here? Why don't we have the rest of the house to be our domain?" And it's like, you have beds in there, you have food, you have water, you have litter, you're all cool. And they're just
Yeah.
like, no,
She had
this
all her
is
things
not
in here
right.
and me the whole time,
Yeah,
and Alex most of the time.
it was still not right.
But yeah, her food lives here, right next to
Yeah,
me. That's where her food and water are. And then her litter box is in the bathroom, but we had moved it in here.
yeah,
So, yeah, she could not stay in the bedroom all day. We would have had to move all her stuff. And then
yeah.
she would have been sad because we were not there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you could be in a different room alone, or you can be in here
Yeah.
with us. Those are your two choices.
That room is across from where they're working, too. So, like,
Yeah, so it's a worse
closer.
room environmentally.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Peanut still has broken toe, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
officially for another 2 weeks, but you would not know it anymore because when she's excited, she gallops around and bounces around, which we are not meant to be letting her do. But
How do you stop a dog bouncing
I
around?
mean, we could take her out on a leash every time,
Yeah.
but apparently Gareth's not doing that. So she's bouncing around on her potentially still broken toe. So I assume if she, I mean, she was three-legged lame for a good 3 days, even on meds. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if she's willing to bounce on it, it's probably
Right.
fine.
Sounds like
Like,
it.
you
She
know,
seems happy.
yeah, she's happy enough.
Hey, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around.
Like and subscribe and help with the YouTube algorithm.
Join the Chronically Fabulous Club.
We have a Discord and a website and an Instagram.